Hello guys, so this is the first devlog video for this game I'm trying to develop, and so I'll just go over some of the features that I have so far. So in the main menu we have the buttons here on the right, like play, settings, credits and exits, and I've also put on the bottom left some build notes. So this is all the features that I've implemented in this current version, and I'll be updating this as I make each build. Okay, enough of the main menu, let's play the game. So, like most indie horror games, I started with a typewriter opening. And this story text is actually from ChatGPT as well. Not that I couldn't think of a story, it's just I'm a bit lazy at the moment. Maybe I'll reword it, but I think it did a good job expressing the story that I'm going for. And for this opening, I actually took inspiration from Insidious, the movie. I just like the way it pops out with that type of audio. And we are brought to this room, and as you can see, there's this typewriter text below. So it triggers every time you walk through a trigger box. You can interact with items. I got this light switch going on, which can actually open multiple lights. Right now I just got it connected to one. And of course you can open doors. And as you notice, we have this interact dots, which gets slightly bigger and also contains the name of the item that we're looking at, like this flashlight. You can pick up a flashlight. You can also turn it on and off. We do have a body. Right now it has just, forward and back movement. As you can see here, it's not really turning when I'm walking sideways. So usually I would just hide the body so I don't have to deal with character animations. But I think for this attempt, I will try to put just some basic directional movement, but try to hide the arms so I don't have to interact with objects using the hands. So we got notes here, and right now I just got this gray border. I'm not sure if I want to put note images. Of course, we got the note text. Just turn off the lights. Find a way out. So this room was actually empty at first. I didn't have this structure, but I thought it looked kind of weird without anything. And I also added these items that you can look at. This box, which you don't know what it's for, at least not yet. And if we explore here, there's another note here. Another ChatGPT note, which I think did a good job. So it's explaining the incident that happens in this facility. I'm not really a big note person, so I don't really read those in the games I play, but for people who like lore, I'm gonna try to include them. You walk through this door. Let's try this door. We can see it's locked. And there's a note here. Stay next to the glowing cubes, it will protect you. And there's a sound coming from this direction. And actually I did notice every time you read this note, that sound will trigger. So you can do something like this and trigger that sound effect multiple times. So that's a bug I need to fix. But that should draw you back. Investigate. So we got a shift function now. That unlocks our running. And we have a stamina bar at the bottom. So it said stay close to this glowing cubes. We got directional sounds here. And I've also added a camera shake. Oop, we're in trouble. Hello, big guy. So yeah, I got this guy from Sketchfab. I thought he's actually he actually has arms and a leg, which I had included at the start going through here, but since I added this roof, I had to make sure only the face shows up. And so what do we do? So this one I actually tried forcing the player So when they're here, they're not just looking here out of fear that they would get bored and turn around and see this big monster. And I actually had the game fading out from when this monster appears, but it might not give time for the players to look at it in case like they run here out of fear or something. Yeah, you can go out and inspect. It's quite safe, at least for now. Let's check him out. Yep. And yep, that's where I decided to end this particular sequence. End it off with this more ChatGPT text explaining what happened after this incident. And yeah, so these are all the features I have so far for this build. And yeah, this was 1 week in development so far. So I started like last Sunday-ish and been working a few days on it. And I just wanted to get the basic things out. So yeah, I got the sound effects from these two websites, Avani Sound and Game Dev Market. Most of those packs I got from the Humble Bundle bundles in the software bundles, which give you all these sounds for a cheap price. So I got a few of them, which I used for this build. And that model from Sketchfab by Sanyaork. Don't know if I pronounced that correctly. And yeah, just links to my socials down here. So this image in the background is actually AI generated. I just got ChatGPT to make it, and I plan to change it when I start making the 3D models, but it was just a quick way to add something in the background. I'm also using custom fonts for the title and the buttons here. So I got them from thefont.com. The only sad thing about them is that they're all in capital letters, so the font itself didn't have any lowercase letters. So I might change the font in the future. But for now, I think they work well together. So I actually started off making the menu when I started this project, just because I was practicing. I wanted to practice menu options, and I just decided to continue and make it into an actual game. So these settings all work, so you can change the window modes, resolutions. Graphics, I left to just one option. Usually I have it split into like textures, lighting, reflections, stuff like that, but I just decided to make it easier by just making one option. And you got your VSync here as well. And you do have to press apply. If you return, it does not apply those settings that you've chosen. And the gamma controls, you do not need to apply. You just slide in, it changes the gamma. And we've got the credits, which just has some information and links to things like the monster model and my social media down here, which open up in a browser. And of course the exit, which has an exit option, so you can choose whether to exit or go back. And yeah, so that is the current state of this version 0.1.0. For the next updates, I will try to include more features and hopefully work towards a playable demo. Anyways, thank you for watching. Bye.